You are not the owners of this planet, you never have been. You are just tenants, and if you don't change your ways soon, a permanent eviction awaits you. That route, all winter tour, you Mr. Ivan of money. This is deoxyribonucleic acid, or DNA for short, in the form of a spiral helix. This molecule contains the genetic instructions for the biological development of cellular life forms. In other words, all living beings are made from this molecule. This molecule is the foundation of life, which, through genetic coding, determines living beings, from bacteria, plants, and insects, all the way to complex life forms like birds, reptiles, and mammals. All are equally built using the same molecule. All living beings, including humans, DNA is just recycled material that carries key hereditary information from one generation to the next. This information is encoded in 4 chemical bases: adenine, guanine, cytosine, and thymine. And when we talk about how humans share their DNA with other living beings, we are referring to these 4 chemical bases. Scientific research has shown that all humans, without exception, share 99.9% of their genetic material. The remaining 0.01% is responsible for differences in hair color, eye color, and also skin color. The difference between these two people is only 0.01%, which just goes to show how pointless racism is, but that 0.01% creates such a big visual difference in skin color. Today, we're talking about 1%. Now, it will take you on a journey to the very edge of our understanding of the universe and the nature around us, and explain why some things are the way they are. What you are about to hear are fully proven scientific facts. Humans share over 50% of their genetic information with plants and animals in general, and 60% of the same material with fruit you might eat every day. We're talking about bananas, 60% with various insects, and 80% with cows. 85% with mice, which is why mice are most often used in tests and experiments. 90% with house cats, which might be a surprising similarity for dog lovers, since with humans it's lower, that is, 84%, meaning that cats are genetically closer to humans than dogs are. Monkeys share over 90% of their genetic material with humans, and many people make a mistake when comparing monkeys to humans. Monkeys are a special group of mammals, and when you think of monkeys, you actually mean humanoids. Hominids are a broader group of mammals, and humans are included among them. And the easiest way to distinguish between hominoids and monkeys is simple. Monkeys have tails, hominids do not. Hominoids include orangutans, which share 97% similarity with humans, gorillas, with whom we share 98%, bonobos, with almost 99%, and the hominids most similar to humans, chimpanzees. Just a 1% difference in DNA makes this much of a difference, just 1%. Chimpanzees are the animals genetically closest to humans, with almost identical DNA. Just a 1% difference results in such a big difference in appearance and intelligence. Unless you're a banker who deals with huge amounts of money every day, 1% is something the average person tends to overlook and not pay much attention to, but that 1% is crucial for today's topic. 1% is what separates a chimpanzee from an ordinary average human. The same difference in average intelligence is what separates a chimpanzee from Aristotle, Archimedes, Mozart, Leonardo da Vinci, Albert Einstein, or Nikola Tesla. That 1% difference in genetic makeup is what distinguishes one of the greatest minds in human history from a chimpanzee, whose intelligence is on the level of a 3-year-old child. Extensive research conducted on both chimpanzees and children at the same time has shown that chimpanzees are actually quite good at certain things. They perform quite well in solving certain tasks and tests, just like children, and what's astonishing is that orangutans, gorillas, and chimpanzees, by observing human behavior, have started to imitate people. What was once unimaginable is now becoming reality. These great apes, by copying humans, have begun to use tools like spears, axes, and other implements. Among them, there are clearly intelligent individuals who were the first to understand how various tools and even weapons work. Some individuals are so much more intelligent than the others that they have learned to communicate with humans. using sign language for the deaf. Among them is a female western lowland gorilla named Coco, who is one of those individuals. She was born in 1971 and died in 2018. I deliberately say died and not passed away because Coco was not an ordinary animal. From an early age, she was taught sign language by an instructor named Francine Patterson, and she knew over 2,000 words in English. She was a magnificent animal who also cared for other animals, like a little kitten she adopted and even gave a name to. Many studies have shown that Coco had an IQ, and on that scale, her intelligence ranged between 70 and 90, which is at the level of a 3-year-old child. Maybe that doesn't seem so special, but for communication between humans and gorillas, she was one of the first in history. Direct, meaningful communication with words. With another intelligent being that isn't human. Now let's complicate the story. Gorilla Coco, an intelligent individual of her species. If you had the chance to talk to her, what would you talk about? It's raining. Give me a banana, I'm hungry. I love you. Coco expressed love to her instructor, but the communication was very limited, like a conversation with any 3-year-old child. Now answer me an interesting question. Would you even try to explain to a 3-year-old child the geopolitical situation in Syria, scientific achievements, or the latest news in astronomy? Would a child at that age understand any more than the gorilla Coco? That 1 to 2% difference in genetic material makes the difference between Coco the gorilla and the entirety of our civilization's achievements, science, philosophy, medicine, music, everything you see. Our closest intelligent neighbors on this planet can't even come close to keeping up because they're lagging behind. Just 1%. Now, try to imagine something that's going to be really, really difficult. Imagine an alien civilization that's just 1% more advanced than us, just 1%. That could actually be a lot more, but for the sake of today's discussion, let's say it's only 1%. And as you do, remember the difference between us and chimpanzees or gorillas. I often read your comments, and some of you write things like, "Why don't aliens contact us so we have a chance to talk to them?" I'd ask them this or that. Some of you regular commenters would start philosophical debates with them, hoping to uncover the secrets of the universe and the mysteries of life. But why did you even think something like that would be possible? In this video, for a moment, forget about conspiracy theories and all sorts of cover-ups and events where contact might have already been made. All of that may be true, but we still don't have much information about it. The question still remains, if the universe is teeming with life, why has an alien civilization never officially introduced itself to us, officially and publicly, to all of humanity at once? Good afternoon, we are so-and-so, you are not alone in the universe, thank you very much and goodbye. The answer to this question might be very simple, interesting, but at the same time, for some people, also terrifying. There is something called the Drake equation. You also often comment things like, it's impossible that we're alone in such a vast universe, and it really does seem impossible. The astronomer and astrophysicist Frank Drake tried to calculate the chances of intelligent extraterrestrial life in our galaxy, and in 1961, the Drake equation was created. Taking many things into account, from the age of the universe to the number of stars similar to our sun in our galaxy, which number in the billions, along with many other factors, he arrived at a staggering figure. 3,500 intelligent civilizations just in our galaxy, not counting the entire universe. Later, over the years, with new calculations, other scientists added another hypothetical 1,000, bringing us to a total of 4,500 intelligent civilizations. And here, we're talking about intelligent, technological civilizations, not counting simple forms of life like bacteria, vegetation, and various possible animals. Considering the age of the universe and the development of these possible civilizations, which could be millions of years older than ours. That might be the most important question in the history of humanity. Where is everybody? That very question was asked by Enrico Fermi, the Italian physicist after whom the term Fermi paradox was named. If there are so many intelligent civilizations in the galaxy, in the universe, where is everyone? Why have we never officially seen them? Why haven't they contacted us? because such civilizations should have mastered interstellar travel long ago. Given that the galaxy is 13.5 billion years old, it should be bustling with traffic and activities that we should have noticed by now. But the universe is silent, there's no official contact, and no one has ever publicly introduced themselves. How is that even possible? It is very much possible. In the video, this changes everything. For 1,000 years we've been looking at the same thing, but it presented just one of the huge problems. This is our galaxy, and we are located roughly here. If, in our galaxy, which is speculation, there are 4,500 other intelligent civilizations, let's say most are at a slightly higher or slightly lower level of development than us, trapped in their own star systems. But, limited by technology, they can't leave their own solar system. We are isolated from each other, and any contact is physically impossible. Communication is also impossible due to the vast distances, but maybe also because not everyone uses radio signals like we do. Even if they are more advanced and travel at the speed of light, the galaxy is enormous, 52,000 light-years in diameter. That means, even at the speed of light, it would take you 52,000 years to go from one end to the other. Such civilizations may have started to expand to other star systems, but they are still too far from us. With civilizations at that level of development, they might be able to communicate with us if they actually found us. Now, let's suppose that in the galaxy there are a certain, much smaller number of civilizations that are millions, if not billions, of years old, civilizations that have completely mastered the laws of physics and, in quotes, the secrets of the universe. When you've had that much time to develop and have mastered instant interstellar travel, that automatically puts you in the position of a superior being in every way compared to us humans, a species that has only experienced a technological process for the last 100 years, which is negligible compared to the age of the galaxy. Here, we're talking about beings that might not even have a physical form. They can manifest as anything, anytime, anywhere. Dimensions are to them like riding an elevator is to you. Time is like a movie they can fast forward or rewind. Don't worry if this is hard to grasp, because even the greatest minds in the history of our civilization and our planet have struggled with this kind of information. And you would be talking to such beings about the secrets of the universe. Remember the conversation with Coco the gorilla. Humans can lower themselves to her level of communication. It's possible, but what kind of communication is that? Such beings can lower themselves to your level, but what would you even talk about with them? Because you can be sure you wouldn't understand their answers. And here, I won't even get into how the universe isn't what you think it is. And yes, you heard that right, the universe and the physical world around you aren't what you think. I'll talk about that another time. According to various researchers and other witnesses, our planet has been visited over the past several thousand years by nearby extraterrestrial civilizations like the Greys, Tall Whites, Anunnaki, the Medians, and many others who may not be at the level of a super advanced civilization we talked about earlier, but are still far more advanced than us. Remember the difference of just 1%. No matter how hard it is to grasp such a difference in intelligence between beings, try to imagine 2%, 5%, 10%. And soon you'll realize that you have never truly owned this planet, and that at best, we're just tenants who, if we don't improve, are facing a secret eviction. In cosmic terms, planet Earth is definitely a valuable piece of real estate, and you're just passers-by here who, if they remain unadapted, are in for yet another reset. What do hunters do if a certain animal population grows uncontrollably and causes harm to other animals or the ecosystem? They reduce or completely eliminate their numbers, and none of you. No one is surprised by this. It's considered normal. We shape the planet according to our will, at the expense of others. But what if someone is doing the same thing to you right now, and you're not even aware of it? What if the entire planet is a reserve where tests and experiments are being conducted by several different civilizations? Maybe some of you are feeling disappointed or even angry right now. But don't humans do the same thing, locking animals in cages, places where parents take their kids to look at those very animals? Most people have no problem with that. Something that, for most people, is completely normal, and we've even given such places a name, zoos. But what if you are just the latest participants in this kind of zoo, a new cycle that might end with another destruction, a series of failed experiments on a being that persistently has a flaw and just can't seem to earn its place among the stars. Believe it or not, these are all questions that serious physicists and astronomers grapple with, fully aware of the limitations of our intellect compared to the unknowns of the universe itself. Our best machines, devices, and greatest minds cannot lift the veil of secrets that our universe hides. Civilizations that have visited planets, and may still be visiting them, are certainly intellectually and technologically superior to us in unimaginable ways. Considering their intelligence, it's no wonder they haven't officially introduced themselves. They have neither reason nor need to do so. At the right moment, they might be right next to you, and you wouldn't even be aware of it. The whole planet might just be someone's ornament, aesthetically enhancing an interior, or a zoological garden with a few animals dreaming of talking to their jailers, roaming the vastness of the universe without even understanding what the universe is. Unimaginable and, to most people, incomprehensible forces are at work on this planet, and you would like to talk to such forces. Just remember, only 1%. Whether or not we are an experiment, a zoological garden, or a biological battery, one thing is certain: we are definitely not alone, and we are under constant observation and surveillance. The very fact that we are still on this planet is a positive sign and suggests that we haven't yet used up all our credits, that despite all the problems, there are still answers to all today's questions. Those answers absolutely exist, but they are reserved for a very small percentage of people, and you won't find them in modern science. At least not so quickly. On the subject of answers, I'll end this video with a quote. "The day science begins to study non-physical phenomena, it will make more progress in 10 years than in all the previous centuries of its existence." These words, of course, were spoken by none other than the famous Nikola Tesla. Best regards. Thank you.